Hello again, we're back. We're back in here at the live stream for the Formula Student 2024 from Dej in Romania, where the local time is 10:50 in the morning, Eastern European time. For all our viewers around the Pacific, the time in Honolulu right now is 10:50 in the evening, so almost 11 at night. We're expecting some people after dinner to be watching the endurance in there, in the other side of the world. We have right now Brashov in the retro car preparing to enter the track. Everything is zen. 100% concentration for these 28 laps ahead. 28 time laps, which come out to almost 30 laps of driving across this fantastic track here in Dej. If you don't know where is Dej, don't worry. Not even people from here know where it is. It's lost in the middle of nowhere. But the landscape is beautiful. The temperature is fantastic. It's sunny today. And only the marshals are swearing about how hot they are. In the rest, we are good. Brashov is moving into position on the first track. We love seeing pink people preparing, which means that there is activity with cars. We have Mihai at the wheel of this Brashov's retro car, the coordinating professor for Brashov, for the Transilvania University of Brashov. And in the background we see Timișoara getting ready at the fueling station. We still do not know if we will have two cars in parallel, most likely not, or if we will have two cars simultaneously along the track. We have prepared two overtake zones in this circuit. You can see them in the feed marked in blue, which means that the cars will only overtake each other in case there is more than one at the same time in the designated areas. You will see the marshals coordinating this through their fantastic system of flags. You can see them waving green flags. They love showing green flags. So to all the marshals, let's show us the green flag so we can start this fantastic event. The car is roaring up here in front of us. We can barely hear each other's thing. All the marshals in green, timing is in green, and we are off. A very challenging car to drive. Very powerful, is unrestricted, unlike the other Formula Student cars that we will have here today. Almost 100 horsepower, roaring down the track. 315 kilos on an optimized welded steel and aluminum in there. Is just a hot rod in the track. Is redneck at its finest. Remind you that the car will complete 28 timing laps. In this case, a singular position we find ourselves in right now. The singular position in which Brashov chooses to race this event with a single driver. Usually the drivers will take 14 laps each, with a pilot changing between, with an intermediate scrutineering to make sure that the car is still compliant with regulations while we pass the equator of this test. Passing in front of line, we will get used to this sound in this event. They are racing more than in all the other events combined for this endurance. This event we're getting the cars pulled to its maximum performance in terms of reliability. We do not expect to see incredible times in terms of speed in the laps. Only if the pilot feels confident that the car is behaving completely nominal. So we will see lots of surprises. I'm sure we will get here today. We hope all teams will be able to finish the endurance with the car in one piece instead of pushing it down the finish line. And we remind you that if the car breaks down, the pilots can always run the rest of the laps available to the finish line. Get the car in front of us again. Across the last corner. 3 more cones for the slalom. Clean so far. Very clean indeed so far. And the car sounds nice. Even though Brashov was the last team to perform the autocross event in this same car, in exactly the same configuration, we're expecting timing to improve a little bit once the tires warm up in this endurance, and as the pilot gets the grip on how to take each and every one of the multiple complicated turns in this very nice circuit that we have this year. For everybody on the live stream right now, we still have some technical difficulties in one of the cameras. This is a Formula Student event, nothing goes as planned. This is why you're getting a black screen from time to time in our live feed. As soon as we fix it, we will make sure that the endurance has finished, so bear with us. Closing to us again for another successful lap. No penalties at all. Completely clean so far. It's important to notice that a 2-second penalty for every cone is a significant time penalty. An off-course penalty of 10 seconds is an even more significant penalty. So endurance is about keeping it clean, keeping it consistent, making reliable times, keeping the car working as it should, and making sure everything goes as planned. This is the most difficult of the events, of the dynamic events in the Formula Student, precisely because of the word students. Students are the most unreliable human beings of them all, and forcing them to build a reliable car is the most important challenge they face throughout the season. We know that 28 laps is not only a lot for the pilot, it's also a lot for you guys viewing all this event at home. You're going to say the car is doing the same over and over and over again. Yeah, that's motorsport. Cars turning like hamsters on a wheel that never ends. In this case, the difficulty is higher because the wheel changes the direction of the turns, and there are cones also in the middle. So to keep you a bit in a bit better mood while we finish everything We have Rusmin Kinde with us, team leader for Brasov, for the team that you have right now racing along the track. Hi, how are you? How do you feel this competition so far?
Hello. So really good. We are happy to be here and to have this car running after the hiccups we had today. We had an incredible teamwork last night. And I'm very proud of the guys at the engine department. They did a good work with the clutch and giving us this incredible show today. And giving our professor this time behind the wheel. So he's really enjoying this, I think.
You had some problems yesterday during the autocross, during the first run of the autocross with the clutch. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so basically what we think it was just I think an age problem. The clutch was very used, and then it basically burned, so the plates didn't friction anymore, so they didn't work. So we had to wait for a replacement, but it came in time for this endurance, and we're very proud of that and the work we've done.
This is a very old car. What we have in here today is over 15 years old.
Yeah, indeed. So it's that old. I don't know what I was doing in 2008. So, but the car is like a legend in our workshop. We have like pictures and always hear the stories from the old guys. Like the stories of how this car was built, and that's the foundation of our team, and we're very proud to see it running.
Mihai, your coordinating professor, was telling me yesterday that the Blue Streamline name is completely defining the aesthetics of this 50s looking car that we have right now on the track. And this car is not only the oldest, but is the one that has seen most kilometers along the track, right?
Yeah, let's say that. I'm not pretty sure, because I know that in the first year the competition was at Silverstone, so I don't know if they managed to do any official kilometers, but I know that over the years it had a lot of demo runs, a lot of sponsor events, and it's like our pride and joy, and we're trying to make it to run as smooth as possible with every occasion.
So the reliability of the car is completely proven. It's been on for a very long time. We have it still going strong along the track in here with us, as it completes what is the lap between the first and the 28th.
What?
We are not completely sure which lap number is this. We're on lap number 9 right now.
Yeah.
And we get Timișoara, a green flag in parallel to start on the track.
Oh, so I think, yeah, that's the most racing this car has this year, because it also went to FS Spain Classic Cup, so there it had its fair bit of racing with other cars, so it's really nice to see that.
Second competition for the retro car that we have right now on the circuit. Thank you, Cosmin, for your kind words, and we will make sure that your professor gives you a very nice grade and support in the next years on the team, because you will need all the luck you can get.
Yeah, thank you Albert, thank you FS Balkans, and we'll see you later, I think, and at BS24 I think I will come back to comment on that car also. So
fantastic, yeah. We can't wait. We are here available. We will try to get everybody from all the teams to come tell us a bit about the car. We are not forcing anybody to say anything that they don't want to say, but we want to hear about these machines that we will be racing today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Timișoara just entered the first timing lap and is now running past in front of us in this first lap. We just saw one of the marshals in the turn in front of us put back one of the cones, so we are expecting at least a 2-second penalty for Timișoara in this category. We remind you that the 2-second penalty is nothing in comparison with the joy of seeing the cars finish endurance. So we're hoping for the best. We know that the teams did everything they could do to make sure that that is possible. And so far, the show is fantastic. For the first time in a Formula Student in Romania, we have a simultaneous endurance event. In the previous editions of FS Balkans, we never had two cars at the same time because the previous circuit did not allow. but we have this new and improved circuit, and in this circuit we can get even 3 cars simultaneously. I don't know if this will be the case, but at least we have the joy of having 2 competing cars simultaneously. So we can split our attention, divide our attention between 2 different teams that have a very nice performance given the age that they have been active. We have right now Brashov at lap number 11. We have Timișoara who just finished lap number 3. We're getting finished lap number 3, sorry. And we're expecting the results to start showing in. And in here with us to keep you company during this event, we have one of the iconic team members from Timișoara. We have Gabor in here with us, the soul of any party in the camping site during the night, to tell us a bit more about their TSR-03 Evo car that we see right now passing in front of us, completing the 3rd lap. So tell us something about the car, about your problems, the difficulties, what's behind what we are seeing right now in the track.
Hello everybody. This is Alex, former team captain of UPT Racing Team. In this event, we are here with TSR3 Evo. The latest car. I mean, this car is a facelift of the previous season's car, but yeah, everything under that carbon fiber is brand new. I mean, the chassis is a bit changed, the suspension is a bit changed, and also, like you said earlier, Albert, yeah, this is a new aero package. About what happened last night, basically we are facing some mechanical design issues from the start of the season, with the angle of the rear axle being too high. So basically most of the time it would pop out the upright, but we managed to do that late in the night, and as you can see, the car is running.
That's everything we wanted to hear today. We were kept under suspense for all the night until we managed to get a confirmation that Timișoara was running today, as you saw them in the autocross earlier in the morning, and as you are seeing them now completing the 4th lap. We have both cars in there. We see some yellow flags, so we don't know what is the problem. The marshals are preparing yellow flags. Yellow flags. So Brashov will pull for the pilot change in the pit lane for the intermediate scrutiny as it finishes the 13th lap. We see Timișoara with a cone under the front wing. Now it's completely under the car, a completely dangerous situation. They will manage to pull out, and he spit another cone. He clipped another cone now entering on the last turn.
Well, apparently the cone was spitted out, so there's no danger in here. What else should I say about it?
Tell us about the car, tell us about the team, tell us about your experience leading in the last year this fantastic team that led to the TSR-03 last season, and that was the base for the design for this year's car.
Well, I'm very excited to be here. It's very emotional because I think this is my last competition. So basically here is me leaving the active form of me from the team. But yeah, I'm very proud of this car. Basically, last year we managed to build a decent car, and after last season we got some conclusions and got up to work fastly, and basically keeping everything that was right about the car and improving the rest of it. I think this is it. It's not ideal what we have managed to done. I mean, it broke up, but it's here now running, so it's a pretty good feeling about that.
Thank you, Alex, for this little insight on your experience with the team and your experience with the car that we are seeing right now on the track. We only have one car in the track at the moment. Brashov pulled into the pit lane for the pilot change, but we remind you that there is no pilot change for this particular team. Their coordinating professor Mihai is driving the full 28 laps. That's a titanic effort in these weather conditions, and considering that these cars have absolutely no direction assist, they are purely mechanical beasts. They are hard to steer, they are hard to control, but they are fast. Team Ishara passing in front of us to complete the 7th lap. Everything looks good so far apart from a few clipped cones. We remind you that Team Ishara does not like yellow cones. So far we're good. And Brashov is preparing to enter the track again. We are getting ready to see the green flag, and we're waiting for the event, for the track coordination to wait for the cars to reach a diametrically opposed position in the circuit so they do not bother each other. Hear the engine roaring, and we are off. We have right now 2 cars in the circuit and 2 cars in preparation. We have Bucharest at the pre-scrutineering, and we have Brashov at the fueling station, which means that we will get crowded in the circuit over the next minutes. We don't know if we will manage to get 3 simultaneous cars, but for sure we will keep 2 cars at all times during the event, which is more than nice enough. Don't worry. Cars will not crash one with another. Another clipped cone for Timișoara. Another yellow cone for Timișoara. Timișoara hates yellow. You should see them driving past the cornfields on the way here. Brashov just started again a timing lap after this cooldown lap and after this pseudo pilot change right now. And if you keep following us, you will see when we post the final video the aerial images also. We have right now 2 helicopters filming, 3 satellites giving us communication around the country. We have most of our viewers in India right now, where it's 2:45 in the afternoon. For everyone in Hyderabad, hello from Dej in Romania. We'll see you next time when you come to next year's event, as you promised. But so far, we'll have to do with the cars that we have, which are performing excellently so far. They're giving us a great show. And there goes Timișoara passing in front of us again. Sixteenth lap just completed for Brashov for the retro car. Timișoara is completing the 10th lap now. So far everything looks good. We are over half of the event for the retro car of Brashov. We are 1/3 the way for Timișoara. We will see how the cars behave. Now is when the stress will start to be felt in the cars itself. And the fatigue for the pilots, we can see that Timișoara keeps consistently clipping only yellow cones. So right now, so you get a bit of context, Brashov is running consistently faster than Timișoara at the moment. Timișoara is not pushing the car, they are pulling for performance. So in a moment, we are expecting to see an overtake. Timișoara will be called out at some point into one of the two overtake areas, stopped for a moment, allowed for the other cars to safely overtake in order to resume the racing so far. So you get an idea, Timișoara is pulling a more diverse timing that ranges from 1:03 in their fastest lap to the 1:16, 1 minute and 15, 1 minute and 16 that we're seeing consistently over the last laps. It is clear they are not pushing the car. They are taking a safe approach to finish this endurance. It's a respectable and perfectly correct approach for this event. Brashov comes with way much more experience on this particular car, racing endurance also in previous events this season, like the Formula Student Spain in Catalonia, and they are consistently running about 10 seconds faster. They are pulling between 1:06, 1:07 to 1:10 per lap. We just saw an overtake right now. Brashov is ahead. Timișoara is waiting for some clearance with Brashov along the track. This is completely normal protocol. The moment that we have an overtake, we give distance. We give distance between the two cars, so they do not run dangerously close one another, and the marshals can perform their job of keeping them safe. We see Timișoara in there, cleaning the track of cones. Luckily, we still have about 432, so we should be good. Timișoara does not like yellow cones.
I think he's counting them.
So the cones that we were seeing under the front wing of Timișoara were apparently spit out. The car is clean. So the race continues. We get Brashov now in front of us in order to complete their 20th lap. Still 8 more to go after this one. And the car still sounds as it sounded on the first lap. We start seeing the fatigue of the drivers as they consistently clip more and more cones per lap. "20 laps in one of these cars in our track that is 880 meters long. 880 meters that take about 1 minute and a bit for an average endurance lap. We can see that the event advances because the marshals are running out of cones in some places to put back where the cars clip them. This is normal procedure. They are excellent professionals, so we will keep the standards to the maximum. Another clipped cone, in this case for Brashov in the second slalom. This is pilot's fatigue. We are reaching the equator of the race for Timișoara. As they complete the 14th lap, we will expect them later on to enter the pit lane for the driver's change. And the 14th lap is completed for Timișoara. We have timing consistently on the 110, 116 per lap, and they will be pulling out in this next pass on the pit lane for the driver's change.
I would also like to add on that this first driver was his first event that he was the driver for us. So basically, this was Raul, and at the driver change, we're waiting for Sebastian, who is a bit more experienced on the car. But yeah, we are happy that we managed to get through here. We shall see what will be going on.
Only the future will tell. So far we take what we've got, and we've got Timișoara in the equator of the lane. Big round of applause, please, for their performance. As we get Brashov now completing the 23rd lap, we expect that the pilot change will take some time for Timișoara, and we will have them back on the track as soon as possible. As Alex said next to me, we just saw Raul perform consistently and nicely over these first 14 laps, and we're getting Sebi for the second half. You also saw Sebi this morning before on the autocross, so you already know his driving style. We're getting the third car in this competition ready to enter the track. Bucharest is preparing at the starting point. Bogdan piloting in this case. Brashov just passing in front of him. Imposingly noisy car that we have in this event as the retro category. Completing the 24th lap. So still 4 more to go for Brashov. And Bucharest waiting for the green flag so they can start this endurance test, as Timișoara still preparing for the pilot change. If the track manager is nice, maybe he will allow us to get for a very, very brief moment 3 cars on the circuit until Brashov finishes their endurance. If everything goes to plan, we'll see. And completing the 25th lap with a timing that after the pilot change went back to its original between 1.06 and 1.09. Very consistent driving, keeping the time steady, pushing but not too hard, fast but not too risky. That is the very essence of this endurance event. Timișoara finished the pilot changed, finished the intermediate scrutineering, and is getting ready at the starting line for the second run. Sebi getting ready. I don't know how all that hair fits inside that helmet. Somehow it does, and it works. Timișoara will take the lead in front of Bucharest as they get in the entry point of this track in first position. Engine is not yet on. Hi Sebi, how are you? He's fully focused, fully concentrated, and we got the green flag, so there we go. We start the second half for Timișoara. Aggressive start in this second half as he goes through the starting line. And we are off. 14 laps to go. And 2 more for the retro car for Brasov. We see Timișoara about to complete the first lap. More aggressive driving in here. This is what we like to hear. We hope that the cars hold steadily. We can assume that after this pilot change, they saw that the repairs that they did overnight worked properly, so they decided to go into a more aggressive stand in this second half. As Alex said next to me, more experienced driver also. He knows how to push the car better, so it does not break. And we are getting at the same time Brasov on the last chrono track. We will have a cool down lap afterwards, and this will be the endurance event for Brasov. We're getting a blue flag right now. A blue flag indicates that Brasov will stop on the overtaking area to allow for Timișoara, which is running faster after the break, to continue. And this is motorsport at the moment. The two cars running as if they were in the formation lap. They are not in the formation lap. They are teasing one another on the last meters for Brasov in this endurance, going into the last corner on the 28th lap. And that is the finish flag for Brasov. They completed endurance in a 15-year-old car. A car that has been in 2 events this year and that has accumulated probably the most kilometers in the history of their car development. And if not, who cares? The performance was excellent. We will see Brasov pull into the pit lane as Bucharest is preparing to enter the track. Engine just started in the DR05 car, and Sevi pulling completely. We have Bucharest on the track. We have 3 cars in parallel as a premiere for a Formula Student event in Romania. This is what we like to hear. Plenty of engines at the same time. And we want Brasov now to pull the accelerator so we can hear the car roar. We get Timișoara consistently increasing the timing. Timișoara is running under 1 minute at the moment. And there we have it. That's Brasov pulling on the pit lane. I show the force for the oldie but goldie. So as we will get some words also from a member from the Bucharest team, we will ask Alex to give us some details on what we are seeing right now, on the performance that we're seeing from Sevi. You see another blue flag, another overtaking. Timișoara is running under 1 minute at the moment. Last lap was 59 seconds. So it's the fastest that we have seen in this endurance event.
Well, basically, like I told you before, Sebastian is a very experimented pilot with at least this car. He was also the main pilot, the main driver of this car, and he knows his car the best. He also influenced it a lot in the development process. So basically, the car is made for him. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Formula Student Balkans. Thank you, PT Racing Team, and I love you guys. See you.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for these kind words. We like having former team members coming in here to share their experience with us. We are seeing an excellent performance by Timișoara so far. Very clean, no cone so far in the second half of this endurance. The car is behaving properly. We are running fast, and at the same time, We have Bucharest running slower. They are taking a more conservative approach into the circuit. They are pushing to finish endurance. That is their main goal, which means that they are focusing on not stressing the car too much in this first half. The car is just on the third lap right now. They are finishing the third lap, and as the tires start warming up, as the driver feels more and more confident, I am completely sure that we will see a better performance by Bucharest. We are seeing now Timișoara and Bucharest keep consistently. It's a slower performance, it's a steady performance, it's everything that endurance needs in this track. And we have Mihai with us, the coordinating professor for Brasov right now, to talk a bit with us. We get him hot as he's getting out of the car. We want him straight out of the car. We're not letting him rest for a second after completing very difficult, almost 30 laps in this track, in this heat, in a black driver suit, in the blue streamline. So how was the race? What was the overall feeling?
Oh, it was cool, man. Very cool. It was the greatest race I had.
Out of breath, very difficult physically. It's not only a difficult event for the cars, but it's mostly a difficult event for the pilots. This is why we usually get two pilots perform half and half. You went with the decision of doing the full circuit. Do you regret it now?
Not a moment. Every second I enjoyed it. It's great.
How do you like the car? How do you like it behaving along the track? What did you feel in comparison with the autocross? What was your feeling overall?
I think I found the pace. I didn't want to fight too much with the car because to finish first you must first finish. So I'm happy that I finished the endurance. The front tires were warming up very fast in the last laps. I had a little bit push, seeing car 325 in front of me. It was a challenge, and I had half a lap behind them. So I think I was a bit too exhausted to follow them to the end. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah, you must breathe in the helmet. You have to pick the right shifts. I had some little mistakes on the I don't know, in the lap 17 or something. I hit the slalom cones in the straight, but then I cooled down and I found again the pace.
Very clean performance indeed. Only a few cones somewhere along the middle of the track, as you mentioned. The beginning and the end of the track were completely consistent in terms of timing, in terms of no mistakes. Do you have the same feeling? Do you think that the performance that you had could have been improved? Do you think you have?
Yeah, I think, but the car is heavy, and as you said, there are two pilots runs, and I think the beginning of the second stint was good because I took my breath, the driver change, and then the last laps, indeed, it was a fight, but I had to cool my mind and keep it clear, not to push too much because I felt that the car will go to the checkered, and I'm very happy that this car, which was built 15 years ago, never running an official endurance the year she was built, rebuilt after 10 years and running for the first time in 2018 in our 10 years event, and now in this season the rock and roll tour, as I call it, this car finished 2 endurances, one in Spain, coming third on the Classic Cup, and here keeping the pace with the other cars, which is amazing because the first car, always has some mistakes, but I took it on me, and knowing the mistakes of the car, I think I could bring it back to the checkered.
That was a fantastic performance. Thank you, Mihai.
Thank you, Albert.
We'll see you around 100% for sure. Mihai is one of the coolest guys that we have in here in the competition. He's one of the guys that is not afraid of the microphone, so we will have him for sure later on in here commenting the event with us. As we still have a lot of run, we have right now Timișoara on the 25th lap. That is no small deed considering they completely fucked up the car yesterday night. They completely rebuilt their mistake, and the endurance seems to be going good. Sebi is pulling a fantastically consistent performance. Around 1 minute per lap. We are getting a variation between 59 and 102, which is amazingly constant for a pilot. What Mihai did not told you is that he's like a Swiss clock. He ran the laps at exactly the pace he wanted them to run consistently throughout the event. And this is one of the keys of the endurance. Endurance is not about speed. It's about keeping it consistent. It's about knowing how to get along with your car. We see another blue flag, which means that Timișoara is passing Bucharest again on the next segment. We just saw the overtake on the far end of the field. Timișoara taking the lead on this 26th lap right now, as Bucharest is pulling significantly better performance as the tires are warming up in this 9th lap. We started with a slower pace of 126. It seemed like the driver was just getting the feel of what he could do and what he could not do. And now we're improving the timing into the 108, 107, which is pretty close actually to the timing in the autocross, which means that the pilot is confident, he feels the car good, he's warming up properly, and he's getting better and better timing. Iau pe bio când iese timp. Și atunci e mai puțin zgomot, că e mai puțin activitate în mașină. Brașovul e gata de intrat sau încă nu? Deci ar putea să intre fix atunci când iese Timi. Bă, dacă îl iau pe bio, atunci nu mi-l pe bio acum. Hai să intrăm acum ca să vorbesc cu Sebi când termină. Hai încoa. We promised you enjoyment. Timișoara and Bucharest right now in the track are delivering that enjoyment. But it is my job to keep you busy because motorsport is a very boring event without anybody shouting in your ear something that you do not want to hear. And in order to get this done, we have Viorel LLL with us from Bucharest UPB racing team in here with us. Viorel is the most veteran team member in Bucharest right now. Not the most competent, but we do not really care about that. And tell us something on why the car looks like a black dildo, why there is no front wing, why there is no rear wing, why the aero package is non-existent, why is he rolling like this, what do you like about the pilot, why you don't like about the pilot, and I want all the questions answered in this order, please.
I won't promise to keep the order, because I can't remember what you said, but starting with the aero package, because that was the first question. We wrecked our front wing testing, which just happens, and we didn't manage to fix it. Okay, but regarding the rear wing, we didn't manage to get it done in time, so that was one of the things. And then about our driver, we've got our Mr. Consistent on track.
We get the checker flag.
Ooh.
Timișoara just finished the endurance event in this 2024 Formula Student Balkans, pulling the last 2 laps under 1 minute, and we will get the timing of the 28th lap right now as they pull into the pit lane. 58 seconds, the fastest lap was the last one, and we're getting now the competitive car for Brașov, BS24 on the track. We still get 3 cars in the track at the same time for one more time, one last time, as half of the cars, 100% of everything that raced in here today finished endurance. Congratulations Timișoara, congratulations Brasov, congratulations all the teams that managed to get until here, but the performance is excellent so far. We want to see it keeping up as they are right now. Sorry Viorel for interrupting you. Let's continue. You were telling us about the driver.
Okay, so our driver, Bogdan, he's quite skilled. He started a lot of handling and time attack events, and so he's really our most skilled driver. I say he's putting down quite a good pace. Then again, the handling of the car is quite tricky. We tried to do our best to fix it last night, so we're in the most friendliest setup for handling, and I think it shows because he doesn't look as tired as he did yesterday. And you were asking about the black dildo as well, yeah?
Yeah, I was asking why you did not have an aero package. You told us that you wrecked the front wing last week. That is a challenging position you find yourself in. Tell us a bit more about the car itself, about the development.
Okay, so last year we made a decision to change quite a lot of things. Firstly, the geometry of the chassis and the rear suspension were main things that we changed. The rear suspension bit turned out quite well, quite good. The chassis geometry and the ergonomics kind of bit us back, as the car is quite tight and quite uncomfortable, even a bit too uncomfortable, even for a race car. But I don't see him complaining, so that's good, for now at least.
Thank you very much, Viral. We will talk with you again a bit later maybe, or if somebody else from your team wants to comment as we cross the equator for Bucharest. We are now completing, we just completed the 12th lap. We'll see another blue flag as the marshals are indicating Bucharest to let Brasov overtake. Bucharest reduced a bit the pace. In the second half we are running between 1:12 and 1:30. They are not pushing the car, they want to complete endurance. And Brasov is pulling out a faster performance similar to what Timișoara did on the second half. We saw the first lap at 1:01, so pretty fast lap. And we will have the results for the second lap at 0:57, so he's pulling faster and faster laps. The car just started on the circuit. We expect faster and faster laps as the car warms up, as the driver warms up, as everything starts running as nominal as it should be. 57 seconds is a very fast pace set for this beginning of the endurance, and the car behaves smoothly so far. As Bucharest is running now onto the second half of the circuit, we see also a nice and consistently clean performance by Bogdan as they prepare to finish the 13th lap and as they prepare to get close to the driver's change break in this event. We got another blue flag for Bucharest to allow for Brasov to pass over. Bucharest running very slowly at the moment. We don't know if there is something wrong with the car. We don't know if there is something wrong with the pilot. We just saw another overtake as Bucharest is completing the 14th lap, reaching the equator of this event. And at the moment we're seeing Brasov run faster at every lap. The last lap was 55.4 seconds, which is a time almost as good as they did in the autocross. We will have the timing for the fourth lap that they just completed right now as Bucharest is pulling the checker flag for the driver change, completing the 14th lap in this track today. Brashov just told us that for the retro car, they are planning on entering the Efficiency Cup for the next season. They had a fuel consumption of 4.95 liters. So we have a yellow flag in Sector 12. We are waiting for confirmation on what is the problem. The car seems to be stopped. So the chrono is started, the car is stopped. They have some limited time to put the car back in the race. If they don't, they will be pushed out of the circuit, so they clear the way for Brashov, which is still competing now, after finishing the 5th lap, running consistently under 1 minute. We have the judges raising yellow flag all over the circuit. Advising Brashov that there is a car stopped on the track. As the time is passing in, we see the two marshals pulling Bucharest car out of the track and into the grass, clearing the way. We are doing unscheduled shutout. We will leave the car in there until the endurance is over. The pilot will egress the car to come back into safety. Apparently, Bucharest took advice from Timișoara and decided to boil the cars in the endurance. That is not good news. That is the first car that is not completing endurance today. But this is motorsport, it happens. This is a competition where stress is put significantly on the cars over the laps. Everything according to protocol, everything under control, as always, keeping the driver as safe as possible. As we see Brashov on their 8th lap. So far, we have an average per lap of under 1 minute, running consistently fast and consistently clean through the circuit. Timișoara just finished successfully the post-scrutiny after endurance, which means that their timing is officially validated. And right now, we have confirmation that they successfully completed the endurance event. We remind you, for those that are not used to this kind of competition, that even if the car completes the track as scheduled, if the scrutineers for something that they do not like in the car, they will disqualify the car even after the race has finished. This is significantly demoralizing aspect for any team. So passing the post-scrutineering is an important milestone in any and every of the events that we are holding out today. One car still on the track. We are waiting for the results of the timing of lap number 9 as we are progressing through lap number 10 consistently. Keeping it under 1 minute, 59.9 seconds in this lap number 10 as we are closing in the equator of this event for BS24. Brashov still running smoothly. That's a fantastic performance. We saw very nice performances so far today. And we have Brashov now, after completing the 12th lap, we will see the results. We remind you that Brashov is running very, very fast in this car, consistently under 1 minute, with 2 times very close to the timing that they did in the autocross. Usually, autocross is an event that should be faster than the endurance, but we see that experienced pilots get better times as they practice and practice more in the endurance, and it's not uncommon at all to see pilots that did good in the autocross do even better during the endurance event, as they feel confident that the car will finish and as they feel confident that they can push it harder without incurring in any penalties and without getting into too much risk. Brashov entering in the last lap for this first half of the endurance event. We will get the results of lap 13 in a moment now, as timing is consistently giving us the results that we need. 59 seconds, 0.9 in this 13th lap. We will see what we pull in lap 14th. We will see what is their strategy. If the first pilot will push harder on this lap, if he will let the second driver take the car to its limits later on. Advantage is that we are the last competition this Formula Student season in here in Romania, which means that the teams may decide to play more aggressively in this last half of the last event of the day. And there it goes, last corner of this 14th lap. We see the checker flag as he crosses the finish line. And we have the second car for Brashov running today, and the official competitive car for Brashov reaching the equator of this endurance event. We will see the car pull out into the pit lane. We will have the intermediate scrutineering and the pilot change. and we will get back on the track as soon as the marshals decide that it is safe to go back into racing. We have still 14 laps to go. That is roughly 14 more minutes to go. Hopefully long time to be driving a car this complex in a complicated track in these weather conditions. But luckily we got a bit of shade right now as the clouds start pulling in. We will have the driver change. We want to get a fast driver change. We don't want dead times. And we have Cosmin with us again from Brasov to give us more information on what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, so about the fast driver change, so we have 2 other crew members, like team members from this year, that let's say we did some training on the driver change, so we should be pretty quick on that. So as you can see now, the live stream permits. What happens now, basically I will story tell to you. The first driver got out of the car. The 2 guys are helping with the seat belts. They need to be a little bit loosened for the other driver to come in. And differencing the pilots, one of them has a padding or a seat, as we call it, to put it in the car to adjust his driving position. And now driver change, it's almost complete. The second driver is in, and the guys are helping now also with the seat belts, but now they need to tighten him up to not move during the endurance event. So I think with the driver change, as you can see, the guys are pulling pretty hard on that seat belt, but I don't know. For next year, we are planning on doing some fit and gym session with them. I think we need more buff guys on the driver change, you know.
One minute driver change, they are telling us that is a very, very fast driver change. Congratulations, Brasov. All the training is paying out as it looks right now. And we will have the car in the track very, very soon as the marshals are preparing to give us the green flag along the way so we can continue on this second half. Tell us a bit more about the pilot, please, Cosmin.
So yeah, so this today and this round of laps, it's Raul at the wheel. He's our most experienced driver. He's like a lot of driving experience. I think it's his 4th year doing endurances and autocross, so he knows his stuff, and he's also very passionate about motorcycles. He's a daredevil, as you call it. So, but he's very, 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 very gentle with the car. He knows what to do and how to treat the car, the tires, the brakes, and he also manages the temperatures very well. So, but doing all this with a very low time in endurance. So let's see what he does now.
Absolutely, we'll see what the performance is. So far, so tidy. We have just started the 15th lap of this event. So we will have a timing for you on this first lap very, very soon, as he crosses the finish line. Very clean lines along the track. Very nice streamline of this car as it moves and it swindles around the cones.
Oh yeah, thank you. What we learn in this competition is like it's very important for the driver to have a clean line, not touch any cones or doing off courses. That's also beneficial for us, not having time penalties, but also for the officials not having to count the cones afterwards. So the scorings come faster, you know.
Yeah, I know we're in a public event, but you can cut the bullshit. You do not care about the cones. You only care about the penalties. We respect that. That is a racing event. The cones are replaceable. The times in the chrono are not. Don't forget that in here we are spending as much money as we can afford to make the car as fast as possible. So we can afford a few extra cones, but we cannot afford a few extra seconds.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically Formula student on a summary. So yeah, that's what happened.
Is your 4th competition this summer, correctly?
Yeah, that is correctly. We started our season in the 1st of August by going in the FS Spain. We went there and let's see the result. We won that competition overall in combustion. Then we had a 5 days break when we came back into Brasov, and after that we were on a 3-week run through Europe doing FS Alpe Adria, FS Poland, and now FS Balkans.
So 4th competition for the car. It's hard on a car built for only the purpose of being a Formula student. How do you see the progress of the car throughout the summer as you raced it in the different events?
So the progress, like our first competition in Spain, were like, let's try the scrutinying, let's see the performance compared with what we do at home, and the car performed pretty well. Also, with on the reliability side, other than some maintenance checks and routine oil changes, nothing major had to be repaired on the car, which we are very proud this year on the mechanical side.
And we are very proud too. We are very proud to be seeing this car run along the track as clean as he's doing. He's pulling out slightly faster times that we saw in the first half. We are running around the 57, 56 seconds per lap, 55 in this 17th lap. We just got the information on that 17th lap. And we're completing the 18th lap. Still quite a lot to go, but it looks good. So far it looks very good. Cosmin said that their pilot is very good at managing temperatures. Now the sun just gave us a bit of a rest, but it's still very hot, and managing the temperatures in an endurance race is very important. As we saw, that was the problem that Bucharest faced in the moment that they reached the 14th lap. They had problems with managing the temperatures. So there is a lot to learn, always, for all the teams in here, but what we're seeing we like so far, and it's a very nice competition that we have in here in this last day at Formula Student 2024.
Yeah, indeed. And now the driver took one cone out, so yeah, as we talk about penalties. Unfortunately, it's again a yellow cone, so I don't know with the drivers today, and the yellow cones, they really don't like it. So
yeah, it seems like the drivers do not fancy yellow cones. They are just trying to get them out of the way, probably because they are forcing them to take the slaloms. Slaloms are hard on the drivers' efforts. We remind you that these are cars without power steering. They turn difficult. They are racing cars. What do you want? They are hard to drive, and still the performance is fantastic.
yeah, but they're also very nice to watch. So if you're not doing, watch the live stream now.
100% you can see us on the live feed. It's completely stupid that we're saying that as we are talking on the live feed. So everybody that is not on the live feed right now is already watching the race together with us. We have the members of the 3 teams that are left in this competition, as Cluj had to leave day before yesterday, and will be returning later for the prize ceremony. But so far we have 3 teams in here in the TNT circuit next to Dej. You don't know what is Dej? Don't worry, we don't either. We used Google Maps to get in here because this is the end of the world. And apart from that, everything that we have in here is nominal, is fantastic. It's pure joy. As Brashov is finishing right now the 20th lap, we still have 8 laps to go. It's a lot, but this B is getting less and less every lap that they take. I'm being monitored by my child protective services to tell you that because of us, next year when we start having international teams, we are putting Dej in the Formula Student International map. There will be not a single soul in Formula Student Motorsport events that does not know where Dej is in 5 years from now. Not even people from Dej know where it is right now, but in 5 years we will get people coming from across the world in here at the TNT circuit to enjoy the days of summer, the last days of this fantastic summer, and see some very nice racing along this fantastic track. We also got the information that Cluj is preparing the electric car, so we may see the car running along the track later on. They said that they started charging the car. Charging the car for Cluj is a 2-week-long activity, so we hope that they will end in time. The process involves dismantling the battery at an atomic level and giving individual spin to each of the atoms until they reach the full charge of the battery. It's a lengthy process. It takes some time, but we are confident that they will manage it to pull it in time. We see right now Brashov pulling into the finish line for the 22nd lap. The time is improving. We saw a speed record for the autocross segment at 54.96 seconds on lap number 19 few laps ago, and we saw another record right now on lap 22 where we pulled 54 seconds, 0.396. That's an overall track record in this competition.
Yeah, and as a team member, like the team leader, we are very pleased with Raul's performance right now. So we're hoping and cheering for him to do the best that he can.
Four more laps to go after this one. We are on lap number 23. Well, it's actually 5 more laps to go. We have problems counting until 28. It's difficult, many numbers, one after the other, and it's hard to keep track, but we will have the results of the 23rd lap timing in a moment. 54.9, so we are now consistently running better and faster than in the autocross, at least for 3 laps. The pilot is feeling confident. You can see that on the way he traces the line along the circuit, and also by how fast he's going. It means that the car is behaving as it should. It means that the conditions are as good as they can be. 2 cones down. We just saw them at this moment. The fatigue pays a toll into all the drivers, even the most experienced drivers, because they will push their forces to the limit, and this means that at some time, going so much into the limit and being fatigued, they will make little mistakes. We hope that the only little mistakes that we see is 1 or 2 clipped cones over all the competition. That is an excellent performance, nevertheless. Don't you agree, Kuzmin?
Yeah, I really agree, and it's very hard for the pilot at this temperature because it's also hot. The sun is shining on you. The race suits are most of the time black, so. And also, like, by being fire retardant, the material doesn't let your skin breathe, so it's very, very hard for a pilot. You're sweating a lot and not feeling very well, I think, after 14 laps in the sun. You're like basically cooking in there.
As Kuzmin said, the drivers wear fireproof suits, as any racing driver. Fireproof suits are fantastic to keep the heat out, but on the downside they are also fantastic at keeping the heat in, which means that they are very good thermal isolators, which means that they will slowly cook you as you race down the circuit. We usually see the drivers pull out completely sweaty after each of the events, and the endurance is the longest of the events that we have right now. It's 12 o'clock right now, so it's the hottest part of the day, and the pilot is already been at it for almost 12 laps right now, as he is finishing the 26th lap in an excellent time. '25th, 26th lap complete. We will have a timing for you very, very soon, and this means that we still have 2 more laps to go. 2 more laps and we are done. We are on lap 27, coming in slowly into the second half of the circuit. We see the finish line marshal preparing the last lap flag. This is very, very good news for Brasov. This is an excellent performance. We will have it passing in front of us. One last time in front of us, as we are slowly and steadily coming into the end of this endurance event. The last lap flag is waved. Lap 27 is complete. We will have timing for you very, very soon, as the driver is now giving everything in to get the best timing possible into the last lap if he feels comfortable. We have a new track record on this lap 27, 54.16 seconds to complete the 880 meters of this track, full of turns, full of cones, full of slaloms. Everything we see, we like.
Yeah, and the pilots are now pushing because with this configuration, after finishing the endurance, you have like a quite long lap. You can do the cooling for the car. So in this configuration, you can push on the last lap.
And here we pass it, coming along the last corner, the last few cones, and across the line for the second car that Brasov races today, and their competition car. The Blue Streamline 24 finishes endurance. Finishing the cooling down lap now. It will need cooling down as they push the performance of the car to the maximum. Fantastic timing on this last lap, setting a new track record of 54.162 seconds. And finishing the last lap with a fantastic 54.37 seconds. So consistently running faster than the autocross. You will get the car pulling in the next few seconds. We see the scrutineers already jumping off their seats to get into the car, to get onto the car, to start pushing, pulling what they like, checking things. But we want to make sure that everything is good. The car just pulled out into the post-scrutineering. The engine is out. The pilot is happy. The team members are happy. Congratulations, Brasov.
Thank you very much, Albert. We're very pleased with this performance and with this event, and we're also grateful for the organization or the marshals that stood in the sun to keep safe for our cars and for our drivers' safety. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Cosmin, for keeping me company in these last laps of the track. It's not an easy job, I know. I mean, at some point you run out of bullshit of what to say, but you are the BS24 team member, so you are the bullshitter 24 in this fantastic event. Congratulations again, Brasov. Thank you very much to the TNT circuit here in Dej, in Transylvania, in the Cluj province of Romania, in the middle of a fantastic landscape, in a place where we have the fantastic conditions of the track in here. We have a fantastic camping for the teams next to us. We have fantastic parties every night. We have off-the-record events every night with bicycles on the track. We have plenty of local and illegal alcohol that the teams bring us every evening, which fuels up a fantastic atmosphere in here. Thank you, track. Thank you to all the sponsors that make this event possible. Thank you to all the organizing staff. Thank you to all the volunteers. And of course, thank you to all the teams that come in here, putting their cars at risk, putting their pilots at risk, just to give us a fantastic show, a fantastic event as we close the dynamic events for this Formula Student 2024 edition. We will see you next year with more fun, more teams, more adrenaline, and of course, but not least, more alcohol. See you next year.